decided to make this video, it was because we were hurting so bad that none of us thought we can get through saying something nice, in real time for my father, and we thought it would be easier to make a video and say what we had to say, and so that it would be nice and honor him well. And as I see the video come together, it's taken on a whole new meaning because we're just able to see how my father touched all of the lives of everybody who sent the videos and nice messages. And I would just like to say thank you to everyone who submitted a video or a poem or a story. It all meant very much to us, and we'd like to share them all with you now. And I would like to go first. And my dad, he meant everything to me. He was always there for me and our family. He gave me everything I could ever want or ask for, and he worked his whole life to do it. And I'm not sure if he knows how appreciated he is, but I'd just like to say it now that I owe everything to him, and I could never thank him enough, even if he lived a million years. I just hope I do justice living the rest of my life as he already gave me the head start that he wanted to. As for some favorite memories, I have countless memories going to baseball games with him carrying me on his shoulders when I was very young. I remember that. And I also remember the day when I asked, hey, how come you not carry me on your shoulders anymore? He's like, you're too big, can't do it anymore. But it's silly little things like that over the years. But there's one story in particular that I'd like to share that kind of sums up who my dad was pretty well. He liked to watch scary movies with me when I was very young. I may have an unhealthy fear of spiders because of it, but also one time when we were coming home, I don't know where we were coming home from, but it was late, and once we get on our block at the old house, he used to let me sit on his lap and help him steer the car, like just on the way home. And this one time, we had watched this movie called Tremors, and it's about giant sandworms. And we stopped at the stop sign that we always stopped at, and I got in his lap, I grabbed the wheel, and he hit the gas and hit the brakes right away. And I looked at him like, what's going on? And he's like, oh my God, they got us, the sandworms. And I started freaking out, and he just started laughing because he loved to scare me. He loved to scare everyone. I'm sure that you'll hear a story here or there about him scaring someone and everybody laughing about it, but that's just the kind of person he was. He loved to have fun. He loved to scare you. He took great joy in that. But he also he took great pride in his family and everything that he did. And like I said, I can't thank him enough. And the following videos that you're about to see of all the lives he's touched enough to make them want to make their own videos as a honor to him is truly amazing. And I hope you enjoy the rest of this tribute. And we'll all get through this moving forward together. Love you, Dad.
Cool. I want to thank God for bringing Bill Gaffney into my family. Mary and my daughter Sarah. He was a great husband, great father, great son-in-law. I love him like a son, and he's going to be sorely missed. On a couple of occasions, when I got myself, was going through a divorce, Bill came with me. I didn't ask him, he volunteered to help out. Also, when I sold my trucks, I was out of work. Bill got me a job at Frozen Food Express. He's always been there for me, as I hope I've always been there for him. I love him. I pray for him every day Pray for the repose of his soul. Get back to church. Go to Mass on Sunday, and someday we'll all be together. The Blessed Mother told St. Bernadette, I cannot promise you happiness in this world, only the next. I love you, Bill. God bless you. And I'll never forget you.
Hey, family. To Sarah, Sal, and Billy, I'd like to share a few thoughts I wrote down about Bill. From the moment I met him at Graham's, he was the nicest, kindest, gentlest human being. He was very hardworking and laid back, too. And when the opportunity arose to take it up a notch, such as making karaoke videos, way back when videos first began, he would kill it. And he continued to perfect his moves year after year, as we've seen throughout the family celebrations and joyous occasions we've celebrated together. I loved watching him, as I know we all did. He was good, really good. We had terrific times going to sporting events over the years, and we'd call each other periodically to catch up. We had wonderful conversations. We talked about faith and family and work. He loved to fish, go bowling, barbecue, as we know, just to name a few. Most importantly, he cherished you, Sarah. And boys, I know he loved you with all his heart. Yes, of course, he'll be missed, but never forgotten. And until we meet again, Bill, may our Lord God and Heavenly Father hold you in the palm of his hand. Now I'd like to share some thoughts that my kids sent me. Lily wrote, I just really loved how happy he was to see everyone. He always had the sweetest smile on his face, and he genuinely cared about everything you were saying. He wanted to know how I was doing and what was going on in my life. Violet said he gave the best hugs. Ella, a fond memory I have from Uncle Bill is he would always give me $1 whenever I told him I was being good to my mom. And AJ finally said he always appreciated every time he'd see Uncle Bill and come over and visit, that Uncle Bill would go get Sal and Billy's old wrestling figurines. So just know that our thoughts and prayers and love are always with you. And please reach out to us if we can be of any help. Love and prayers. We'll see you soon. God bless. Ciao.
As time goes on, I realize just what you mean to me. And now that you're near, promise your love that I've waited to share, and dreams of our moments together color my world with hope of loving you.
My uncle was the most amazing, most caring, hardworking, loving man I've ever met. And I know my family and I, we have been through so many losses in the past few years. But this is by far the worst loss that I've ever had to go through. And I know it's because of the fact that when I was 5 years old up until I was 12, my mom, my sister, and I lived with my Aunt Ron and Uncle Bill. And I always looked up to him more than just an uncle. I saw him more of as a father figure. He was always there for me and my sister whenever we needed him. And now it's just really hard to believe. Even though it's been a few months, it's still hard to believe that he's gone. And no one will ever replace him. He was such an amazing person, and I still can't wrap my head around the fact that he's gone. But I will always and forever love him. He will forever be missed.
My godfather was the father figure in my life, my whole life, and he was there through everything, every birthday, every holiday, every breakup, every dance. One favorite memory that I have with him is when me and him were working at Pizza Hut together, and we were really busy, and I was the boss that night, and he just stopped and looked at me and just watched me work, and he was smiling the whole time, and he was just so proud of me and just so happy that I was his goddaughter. He was just watching me for like 5-10 minutes, and he was just so impressed by how I had everything under control and how fast I was moving. And he just hugged me, and he just told me that he was proud of me, that he loved me. And that was one of so many moments in life. I love you, and I'll see you one day.
Hi, I just wanted to say a few words in honor of my brother-in-law, Bill. Of course, it's going to be something that made me laugh, because he always made me laugh and everybody laugh. I was always a target for Bill when it came to scaring people. He used to put plastic Halloween spiders in my bathroom, in my bed, just to get a rise out of me. And I remember one memory when I was washing dishes in my sink in Chicago Ridge downstairs. I was washing away. Everybody knows how much I, focus on washing dishes. And when I picked my head up, I turned my head and his face was right there. And I jumped and screamed, and he laughed and laughed. So that's just a couple of memories of scaring. There's so many. I just don't have time to put them all down. I just wanted to share also, every year when we had to spring ahead for the clocks to turn, one year my sister Sarah jumps out of bed and she's running through the house, spring ahead, and we were laughing so hard because we were all late for church. And as of this year, that was the last Facebook message that I got from my brother-in-law right before he passed. He said, spring ahead, spring ahead. I just want to share what an amazing brother-in-law he was. He had taken me and my children in when we needed it the most, him and my sister. And I am so grateful, and I will be forever grateful to have him in my life, always have memories of him in my life. He was my laughter. He was always there when we were happy, sad, mad, and he always made the situation so much better. I will treasure you always, Bill, in my heart. I love you, and I know that you're happy in heaven with all the rest of our family.
many great memories of Bill. Not only is he a wonderful, loving cousin, but he's been a great friend. We've enjoyed going to breakfast at Happy Place and going to dinner at the Pancake House. So many things.
Really enjoyed being able to bowl with Bill and the sons and do a little bit of fishing, and he's definitely going to be missed.
All the events, the holidays we've been together, when you guys have been with us at the different blessings in our life, and that we've got to enjoy with Bill and Sarah and the family. Bill, you will be so missed. Boys and Sarah, know that we love you.
Thank you so much, and sorry that this had to happen.
Bill Gaffney, the man, the myth, the legend. What can you say? Fantastic father, fantastic brother, fantastic son, fantastic uncle, and a fantastic friend. One word to describe him: fantastic. I mean, everything from his work ethic to the love of his family, especially his boys, Sal and Billy. But he didn't have love just for them. He had love for everyone. And I think that's one of the biggest things about him. His heart was so huge. He would let anybody into the family. And as long as you respected the family, you were part of the family. And you know, like I'll never forget just one of the times he texted me a couple years ago, but he was, "Love you, brother, always will." You know, that was him. You know, it was, when you were family, you were family. Yeah, I'm gonna miss him dearly, but I know he's up there with Louie and his dad and Uncle Bill. They're probably all fishing off in a lake up there and then going bowling afterwards. So, yeah. So, Bill, I love you, miss you, and can't wait to see you again, brother.
Hey, everybody. I'm having a tough time kind of describing how I feel about this. I've had a tough time this entire time with this situation, kind of it being so out of place and it being so unique. I've had a tough time kind of detailing my emotion. But I'm really going to miss a lot of things about Uncle Bill. He played so many roles in my life, in all of our lives, from a mentor to a friend to the Joker to everybody. I'm going to miss his presence. I'm going to miss his leadership, his mentorship, his general presence in the family. I think he played a role that no one else really plays, in the fact that he's always there. You might not know it, you might not really feel it, you might not think about it in the front of your mind, but he was always there. He was always there for everything, from graduations to sporting events to just general events and throughout life. He was just always around, he was always present, he was always there for any and every one of us, and I'm genuinely going to miss that about him. I'm going to miss so much about him, and I know this is an opportunity for us as a family to come together, to build and to grow, especially amongst the younger generations of us. I love you all. I miss you, Uncle Bill.
Hello. To say what Bill meant to me in less than 2 minutes is virtually impossible, but I'm going to try to find the words to let you know how much he meant to me, my family, my children. I think we grew up thinking all families are the same, to learn later in life what a truly special bond we did share. A fun fact that we didn't even like Bill or want to let him in when we first met him. We literally laughed about that with him many times because it took a second and a half to absolutely love him. He made us laugh, especially during crazy times in life, and there were many of those. He had so many one-liners and things that he would do that would hit target during those moments. First one that always comes to mind is the Kleenex in his ear. I cry laughing about that. how he would take our life issues, get us to laugh about it, and at the same moment be there for every single step of the way when we needed his support, which was unfortunately often. He and my sister Sarah took in mine and my sister Debbie's children like they were his own, so we could work, support our families. He loved and worried about all of us all the time. He is and was a worry wart. He did worry a lot. He had some deep thoughts about life. We could always have a serious conversation with him about anything, and the jokes would stop. But later in life, he would make a joke about it, always when we needed a good laugh to lighten the mood. Or he would want to take onto a different level and take matters into his own hands. My last conversation with him was just a serious one. He told me how proud he was of me and our children, and I said I couldn't have done anything without his love and support. And we would check in upon occasionally to make sure we were traveling safe if we heard about an accident in each other's routes. He always had something comforting to say or would assure me that he was doing good. Life gets busy, but try to remember always WWBD. What would Bill do? He would send a special text letting somebody he loved, just letting him know he was thinking about them or cares about them. So do that in your life. Send a special text to somebody just randomly, just letting them know you're thinking about them, you care about them. He would take the time, and that goes beyond words, and they are moments in life to cherish and appreciate. We have lost yet another best part of our family. Bill left us a great legacy, taught us all of how to be there for each other in the most discreet way, like a silent partner who was always behind the scenes, watching everything, but yet still being there through every single thing in life, the good, the bad, the ugly. If we believe in our God's words, just think of that door to heaven opening and all of who we lost standing there waiting for Bill. Wow, what an amazing, beautiful sight that would be. I do find comfort in that sight. Until we meet again, I will miss you, Bill, every special moment in life. I'll be sure to be there for your beautiful babies and your wonderful boys every special moment in their life. I'll be there for your wonderful sons, your selfless wife, my sister Sarah, just like you were there for us. So goodbye, dear Bill. I didn't get that chance to say that. You'll always be your brother to me, and I love you and will miss you terribly until we meet again. Rest in peace, brother. I love you.
My brother Bill, my only regret is that I didn't know you longer, so I could have loved you more. You always greeted me with a "What's up, brother?" a hug and a kiss, always. We always felt loved and protected by you and around you. You were the silent partner, never the loudest one in the room, but always present in the room. That was just you, Bill. The inclusion of everyone who came into your house. You and Sarah started the original family and friends bed and breakfast 15 years ago. And I think all of us at one point or another slept on your chairs or couches or floors. And that was just you, Bill. You treated my grandkids and kids like they were your blood. And I thank you for that. And if they weren't, it angered you. And that was just you, Bill. Bowling, fishing, the cabin. How many people did you teach to fish? And how many people did you take fishing? A lot of hands just went up, Bill. All the family parties, the 4th of July, Christmas, beanbags, volleyball, card games late into the night. The Florida trips, your happy place. That was you, Bill. You sometimes worked 3 jobs. You weren't frugal, brother. You were cheap. I'm sorry. You would laugh at that, I know. It wasn't meant to be hurtful. But you did all those jobs and worked all those jobs for the pool and for the patio and for, again, the Florida trips. Anything for your family.
That was you, Bill. Your two granddaughters were and still are the love and lights of your life. I never saw you happier than when you were with them. I'm so happy that you got to experience being a grandfather, even if it was for a short time. We talked a lot about what it meant as men and the heads of our family to be grandparents, one of our proudest moments ever. Just one of our many conversations about life. That was you, Bill. You were a brother figure, a father figure, a protector, a giver of advice. You protected your sister-in-laws and nieces and nephews like they were your own. And that was just you, Bill. You always said all you ever wanted was Sarah and your boys. And you protected all of them as well. You always gave her all the credit and praise, but yet your influence and impressions were everywhere. That was just you, Bill. We had many talks about life and money and family and friends and work. I cherish all of those now. Your timely sense of humor, usually at the most serious part of any conversation that was going on, which would always break the tension and make everybody laugh. That was just you, Bill. The sometimes daily text messages to many of us, or all of us, just a quick, hey, how are you? Or a funny joke, or stay safe, or I love you. That was just you, Bill. You were not a perfect man. None of us are. But your incredible qualities far outweigh any of your imperfections, Bill. A man is judged by many things, and one of them is how many lives he touched. And I truly don't believe or you realize how many lives you did touch. People from high school, business, friends, and family. All the boys who considered you a second father, and of course all the children in the family that you looked after and protected. You were a father figure to more than just Billy and Sal, and your boys are very proud of you for that. And you should be too, Bill. You were very passionate about your Chicago sports teams, and I remember watching many games where you were yelling at the TV and the coaches and the players like they could actually hear you. But that was just you, Bill. I remember you apologizing to me in one of our many conversations that you were hard on me, accepting me into the family. But you made me earn your respect, and it was only because of the love and protection of your sister-in-law, my wife now, and I understood. I didn't understand the circle. It wasn't until I was let inside that I understood the importance of it. And I felt very blessed to be inside that circle. I thank you for that, Bill. Boys who you coached 30 years ago commented on what a great coach you were, and that's when you know that you've touched someone's lives. When a child who's now a grown-up remembers what a great coach you were and a great person that you were. That's a sign of a great man. That was you, Bill. We talked about that how you and I would never be rich, but how rich we were in family and friends and love. And well, my brother, you were a millionaire. You always said you could judge a true friend that if they came to a wake of a deceased family member. You always had your own way of sizing people up, and you were usually right. You asked me to watch over your family if anything ever happened. I told you, of course I would. And then I would just be returning the favor for all the things that you did for everybody's families, or just trying to pay it forward. But I don't think I could ever live up to the care and protection that you gave everybody. But for you, my brother, I'll do my best. And even though you will no longer be present here physically, there are two places that you will remain forever. And one is in heaven with your family and your loved ones, and the other will be in our hearts. So this is not goodbye, Bill, but so long for now, until we're all again, brother. Till we're all together again, brother. I love you.
Bill, what a great guy he was. I says he's always been kind, always there to help, and he's going to be missed by all.
I remember we were just starting out as a young couple in Tampa, Florida, and we met up with the whole family in St. Pete. And Bill was there to show me what it meant to be the man of the house.
He always gave us the most giant hug and welcoming us into his family from the start, without questions. He was the kind of guy you could just talk to about anything, knowing he was never going to judge you. He's just going to love you. There's very few people in this world who you can say wholeheartedly, just there for you without any motive, any reservation. And he made us feel like the most important people in the world during that trip. Always, but especially during that trip. He took us to this restaurant.
Yeah, the top of the hotel or something, and paid for this. I'm sure it was way too expensive.
It was ridiculously expensive. The room spun. We felt like royalty. I'll never forget the feeling of just being around him and just being a part of his family, and how wonderful that felt, and how I never wanted to not be a part of his family again.
We miss you, Bill.
Highway run into the midnight sun. Wheels go round and round on my mind. Restless hearts sleep alone tonight, sending all my love along the wire. They say that the road ain't no place to start a family. Right down the line, it's been you and me, and love and the music, man, ain't always what it's supposed to be. Oh, girl, you stand by me. I'm forever yours, faithfully. Circus life under the big top world. We all need the clowns to make us smile. Through space and time, always another show. Wondering where I am, lost without you. And being apart ain't easy on this love affair. Two strangers learn to fall in love again. I get the joy of rediscovering you. Oh, girl, you stand by me. I'm forever yours, faithfully.
It's really hard to pick my favorite memory with my father-in-law. I met him my freshman year at homecoming. I took pictures at his house, and then I went to a bunch of family parties, and me and Billy started dating in my senior year of high school, and we got married a few years ago. He became my father-in-law. He was always so sweet. I had actually the chance to live with him, so I got to see him every single day, and the little things like bringing us, his favorite shake was White Castles, and he used to bring us White Castle shakes and just little sundaes, and then seeing him watch his favorite shows, which is always hilarious because he used to love talking to the TV, especially with football games and any sports. I would say my favorite memory with him is when we told him that we were going to have babies. We gave him a little kit
that was a baby safety kit, and he was so confused on why we gave that to him for his birthday. And the notes, I believe, said, just in case, just to give you a head start, love your grandbabies or something like that. So he was so confused. He didn't read the card right, and he was just so confused at everything. But it was hilarious. And when I was pregnant, he used to say, boys are best, boys are best. And then those girls were born, and they were definitely wrapped around his finger. He loved being a grandpa. He used to love telling us randomly to bring him over, and he would want them to spend the night because they wouldn't sleep in a crib. At least one of them would sleep with him and on the couch, and they would cuddle, and he just loved being a grandpa so much.
I love Grandpa!
I've lost loved ones in my life who never knew how much I loved them. Now I live with the regret that my true feelings for them never were revealed. So I made a promise to myself to say each day how much she means to me, and avoid that circumstance where there's no second chance to tell her how I feel. 'Cause if tomorrow never comes, will she know how much I loved her? Did I try in every way to show her every day that she's my only one? And if my time on earth were through, she must face this world without me, is the love I gave her in the past gonna be enough to last if tomorrow never comes? So tell that someone that you love just what you're thinking of if tomorrow never comes.
The first thing I think about when thinking about my dad is how hard he worked for everything that he had, everything he gave me, my brother, my mom. He worked 2 jobs my entire childhood and never complained one time about working. I wish he would have been able to enjoy that more. I wish he would have been able to have some sort of retirement. But I'm very grateful for everything that he has done, and I can't thank him enough for what he did for me, personally me. He made it seem like he had a more of a connection with my brother than he did with me, because he felt that he spent more time with him. But I wouldn't have the relationship with my father any other way. We bonded later in my life, but the way it all laid out was made it more special to me, I guess, because it just I didn't take it for granted. I loved bowling with him. That was what really got us real close together, made us real close. We enjoyed doing that together. Me and him, my brother, loved it. He was so excited. When I had bowled my perfect game that league night, he was more excited than I was. I remember turning around, and he was the first person I looked at, and his arms were up in the air. He was just like, yes, I've finally seen one. He had never seen one before, and I'm glad I was able to give him that Out of all the stuff that he's given me, I gave him just a little moment, and that I'll cherish that moment forever. But he was such a loving, caring person too. I mean, he worked so hard, but he always made time for us. Always. He was working 2 jobs, working overnight, and it was like he didn't do those things. He made it seem like he didn't do those things because he was always there when he could be. He never missed a practice, never missed a sporting event. Watched all the hockey games together, all the football games. He was always there, always in the moment, always enjoying it. Family parties, same thing. He loved being around us, loved being around the family. I'm going to miss sitting in a corner at a family party making fun of somebody in particular. Whoever we decided to make fun of that day, we're just sitting there going back and forth. He was my world, and I didn't realize that until I lost him. I didn't realize how much of an impact he had on my life until he was gone. But I'm grateful, very grateful to have had the time that I've had with him. If it wasn't for him, I would not be where I'm at today. I tried to replicate my work ethic after him and him only. He was my example, and I can only hope to be half as good as a provider that he was for my kids. He was that good. He was that perfect to me. When my girls were born, it was like his life was rejuvenated in a way. They were his world, his everything. Every decision he made was for them. It wasn't for me and Sal anymore. It was for the twins. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful to have had them at a time where he was able to enjoy them a little bit. I wish he would have gotten more time with them, and I wish he was here to see what they're doing now, because he would have loved every minute of it. It's kind of funny because my mom was always used to being the one that the babies were attracted to. But with the twins, it was flipped. For the first time ever in their life together, the twins would go to my dad before Grandma. They would go to Grandpa before Grandma. They would run into his arms. They loved spending time with him. They loved him so much. I'm gonna miss those moments, seeing his face light up when those 2 girls walk in. I hope to give the girls, my wife, my girls, my twins, just as good a life as my parents gave me. They were my life. I have no complaints. They taught me how to work. My dad taught me how to be a provider and be a father. But I wanted to share some stories to reflect on one of my brother's stories of my dad. My dad loved to prank people. He loved it. I can go on and I could talk about all the pranks that he put on me, family members. But one in particular that I was thinking of the other day, probably the best time he had ever gotten me. One of the best times he had ever gotten me and my brother at the same time. We were playing, my brother was playing I believe it was a zombie game. We were playing, it was like 8 o'clock at night, something like that. So it was dark out. It was dark in the room. We didn't have any of the lights on, just the TV. And we were both sitting at the edge of the bed, and my dad had crawled in the room on his hands and knees, and we hadn't seen him. he just snuck in, and I was sitting closest to the door. And he goes right up to the edge of the bed, and he bites me in the arm. He lashes out, "Rah!" and with that kind of sound, bites me in my forearm. Me and my brother jumped up like we had just, our lives were about to end, you know? And he was always, once he did something like that, he would get up and he'd do his laugh and just walk away. I'm like, Jesus, are you kidding me? Again, he got us again. He enjoyed that very much. I'm gonna miss that too. All the laughs he gave everybody, man. He was one of a kind for sure. He always made time for everybody. He was a very selfless man. Gave up a lot. Gave up a lot of his time to provide, and I'm gonna miss him. I'm gonna miss him a lot. Dad, I love you. I hope I'm still making you proud. I also wanted to take a minute and just thank everybody for coming out today. All the cards, the text messages, the phone calls, emails, Facebook messages from coworkers that he worked with, some of his customers, family, friends. It's been overwhelming for my brother and my mom and I. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here and helping us get through this. Everybody here today, thank you. We love you. Thank you.